If something were to happen and I somehow lost every single camera I have to make my videos and I had to start all over, I believe there's one very obvious camera that I would buy first that would allow me to make basically any video I need to make with just one camera. Today, I'm putting that to the test to see if I can actually get every style shot that I need. And the camera I'm talking about is, of course, the Insta360 X4. Now guys, while I love the Insta360 X4 and think it's a fantastic camera, this video is sponsored by Insta360. They did send me this camera. As always, all the thoughts and opinions are my own. Insta360 doesn't even see this video before it goes live to you guys, but just wanted to give you guys the heads up. It is sponsored. Before we get into all the shots you can get on the X4, I wanted to touch on what it is about this camera that makes it able to get all of the shots that we're going to be talking about in today's video, because in my opinion, the Insta360 X3 isn't quite as versatile of a camera as the X4 is. Now, there are a couple of upgrades the X4 got that are going to make this possible. The first off is the resolution. So the Insta360 X4 is now shooting in 8K, which means both of these lenses are shooting in 4K. What this allows you to do is now zoom in on footage without really destroying the video quality that you're getting out of it. The X3 was always fantastic at getting those really weird specialty shots, but the thing that sucked is every time I wanted to zoom in on that footage, I knew the quality was going to get a hit. That's not going to be the same here. If I'm gonna be honest with you guys, the very first clips that I saw come out of the X4, I was absolutely shocked that we are at a point in technology where 360 footage can look this good. The next absolutely essential upgrade is Insta360 installs these removable lens guards on the X4, and these are interchangeable, so you can just get as many pairs as you need. For you guys that are familiar with 360 cameras before, especially the Insta360 X3, you guys are very familiar with how precious you have to treat these things and the little lenses that are attached to the cameras. If anything happens to those lenses, they get scratched or a rock comes up and hits them, it will very easily ruin the image, which basically makes the camera pointless. And as you can imagine, for an action camera, this is very annoying. So with the X4, with these removable lens guards, all you do if something happens to them, a rock comes up and scratches them, you just rotate them off, order a new pair, and at the end of the day, you're solid and the lenses on the inside are still safe. Now, in typical Insta360 fashion, the X4 brought way more upgrades over the X3, but there's also about 1,000 YouTube videos, and I'm sure you guys have already seen the majority of them, all talking about the specs and the upgrades. There's no point in wasting your time or mine talking about that in this video. Let's get into what makes this camera the only camera you really need for making motorcycle content. The first mount we got to talk about is the most classic angle people expect out of a motorcycle video, and that's the POV cam or helmet cam. Honestly, if this camera wasn't able to do this shot, I would have probably scrapped the entire idea for this video. Using the single lens mode on the X4 allows you to record only out of one lens, so you don't have to worry about doing all that extra work that comes with the 360 files, and at the end of the day, you end up with a single MP4 file. This view is great for filming videos in a way that your audience gets to see exactly what you're seeing as the writer, and now with the lens upgrades, you can film in 4K in single lens mode, which is the same resolution I film all my other videos with. Now, if you're looking to motovlog and you need audio to go directly into the camera, you've got a few options here. Now, option one is going to be use the Insta360 adapter that allows you to plug the mic directly into the camera. This is going to give you pretty good audio depending on the mic you use, but you will need to run a cable all the way to the camera, so depending on where you have the camera mounted, this may or may not be an issue. Option two is you can actually connect your Cardo directly to the X4 if you have one. Side note, why don't you have one? They're amazing. Seriously though, I couldn't ride without listening to music, so if you don't have one yet, use code C2DubCardo, get 10% off. It'll literally change how you ride. Anyway, with the Cardo connected, you can get your audio automatically recorded into the video on the X4. This option is really convenient, but the only problem is I find the Cardo to be too good at voice isolation. You can hear your voice perfectly, but you lose out on some of that road noise and, the most importantly, the engine noise of the bike. All right, guys, so I swapped the camera off my helmet just so you guys could see what I was doing. Right now, you guys are listening to my voice via the Cardo on my into the Insta360 X4 in front of me. As you guys can see, nothing is connected to that other than the Bluetooth connection. Now, this is what the Cardo sounds like. As you guys can tell, the Cardo isolates so much of my audio, but as far as a very easy option to quickly get going, I think it's pretty solid. Now we're going to transition to my Pro setup. This is what my Pro setup sounds like, and it's being wirelessly recorded in my helmet. That is the difference in audio. As you guys can tell, the microphone for the Cardo and my Pro setup are right in front of my mouth. The main difference between my Pro setup and the Cardo setup is that my Pro setup has no noise canceling going on. So you guys are actually able to hear a lot better. The Cardo does great for like phone calls and stuff like that. But when it comes to immersion in the video, I don't know if it's the best option.
Also, another downside of this is while you're doing this, you cannot listen to music on your phone because your Cardo can only be connected to one device at a time. So basically, instead of connecting it to your phone, it connects to the camera. So no music, unfortunately. This is why I typically go for the third option, which is my Pro audio setup with my 2 wireless mics. Now, I have a whole video on how I set this helmet up, and I'll leave a link for that in the description, but the point is, you've got loads of options when it comes to the X4 and getting audio into your video.
While the Motovlog Cam is absolutely essential, if it's your only camera in a video, your video could get a little boring. To spice things up, you're gonna need these next shots. The next style of shots we're gonna be getting is taking full advantage of the 360 nature of the X4, and that is to get cinematic shots of your motorcycle.
Now, while the X4 can shoot in up to 8K at 30 frames a second, if you actually drop down to 5.7K, you can shoot up to 60 frames a second, so you can slow your footage down. If you mix this with the crazy small form factor of the X4 and one of those invisible selfie sticks that it comes with, you can get some really cool tracking shots of your bike. Now, trust me, you're gonna look a little stupid when capturing the footage, but it's totally going to be worth it when you put it into their 360 editor and you can track certain parts of the bike and end up with a really cool shots that you can't really get with any other cameras. Check these things out.
You guys see what I mean? With the X4, you can get some absolutely crazy shots that you can't really get with any other camera. But what happens when you want to be the center of attention of your shot? For that, you're gonna need this next angle.
A favorite over on Instagram and TikTok, and that's what I'm calling the look back shot. For this shot, we're going to be mounting the camera to the very front of your bike like the windscreen so that it can look directly back at you. This is when we really get to have fun with the 360 camera because it can see everything around it. This makes this angle perfect because having the camera up front allows it to get a great shot of you as the rider, like when you react to something that happens while you're riding. But in editing, you can also move the shot around to show anything that goes down. Think of something like if you rolled up to a stoplight and someone in the car next to you told you that they really liked your bike. With a regular camera, you would only get your reaction if the camera was facing you. But with the X4, you can pan the shot over to the car that says something to you, then pan back to you and get the shot of you and how you react. This makes this camera easily the best camera for those platforms. I should also mention that you can export videos out of the X4 in horizontal, kind of like you're watching here on YouTube, or vertical for platforms like Instagram and TikTok, and you don't have to change the angle to film it at all. This is why I say get this camera first, because it can do literally everything. Now, let's say you decide you're really liking creating content and you want to upgrade to a dedicated helmet camera like the Ace Pro. Perfect. Now your X4 can be solely used as your look back cam, which is going to massively increase your production value, allowing you to have 2 cameras you can cut back and forth to. I personally don't make any videos online anymore with just one camera, and the X4 is a great addition to your kit, even if you already have a dedicated helmet camera. Side note for this angle though, the X4 has the ability to use gesture controls, and in my experience, it actually works great even with your riding gear on. I'm not sure if this is because it's capturing everything all the time or what, but I've noticed it works far better than my Ace Pro gesture controls did, so you might want to turn these on or off depending. I have accidentally waved at my camera and stopped recording.
Now that you guys know all about the look back cam shot, it is time to show you guys the shot that I don't see anybody using out with their X4. Our next shot is our bike to bike shot, which is by far my favorite shot to get with the X4. Now, you guys are probably familiar with our motorcycle and camera car setup that we use on our first rides. You know, the shots that look like this.
Now, I'm not saying this camera can do that, but what's amazing is using this camera to get bike-to-bike shots. We actually had a video shoot we did of the Buell Hammerhead last week where we had to use this exact shot. Basically, we wanted to get high-quality footage of me riding the bike on track at a decent pace, a pace that a normal camera car would never be able to keep up with. What we did was mount the X4 on the back of my Yamaha MT-10 and have my buddy Dooley, who y'all have seen on the channel, ride my bike while I rode the Buell Hammerhead behind him. It allowed us to keep a pretty quick pace around the track while getting incredible angles of the bike. Now, I understand this is a pretty specific user case, but you could also use the same idea to get great angles of yourself riding. Just easily attach the X4 to a buddy's motorcycle and have them riding slightly in front of you, and you can track yourself when you're editing the footage.
All right, guys, we got the setup on the back of the Ibex here where you're gonna hit record. And that is our now bike-to-bike follow cam. All right, Pat, you're a camera car, or a camera bike. When you guys are setting this up, I don't know if I said it in the voiceover stuff, make sure that it's set up like this to where the screen is flat out and then the other screen is that way. Very important.
The 8K resolution is plenty to get great footage and zoom in if you need, as you guys can see in this clip.
Now guys, if you guys use all the shots that I've been showing you throughout this video, you are guaranteed to have an amazing video. But it wouldn't be a video about a 360 camera if I didn't show you the shots that camera is best at. Let's get to them.
The final use case and what the X platform from Insta360 has always been the best tool at is getting those special angles that no other camera can.
The reason I'm including this section in this video is because now with those new lens guards, you can put your camera in even sketchier situations and have nothing to worry about.
The amount of times I've used my X3 towards the back of my bike and had a rock fly up and scratch the lens made it to where I didn't want to get those angles, which sucks because they look so cool. Now that they have these removable lens guards, I can put the X4 basically anywhere I want without worrying if the camera is going to get damaged. The amount of locations you can use this camera on your bike are literally endless, but here are a few of my favorite places. Now, the whole subject on where and how to mount this camera to any bike is really extensive and kind of outside the range of this video, but if you guys want me to make an entire video on my best practices and best angles for your bike, let me know and I'll do my best to make that for you guys. So, as you guys can see, the Insta360 X4 is easily one of the most versatile cameras for you guys out there wanting to record your motorcycle rides. If you guys want to grab one for yourself, I'm going to have a link in the description down below. That link is an affiliate link, so when you guys use that link, I get a little kickback and you guys don't pay anything extra. So, massive shout out to you guys that are actually using those links. It really does help the channel out. And I can really stand behind the X4, guys. I use it personally, and I think it's a fantastic camera. If you guys are looking for your first camera to record your motorcycle rides, or you're just looking for that second camera that adds more versatility to the cameras that you already have. That being said, it is a little expensive at $500, but I hope throughout this video you guys have seen how versatile this thing can be used when recording motorcycle stuff. As always, you guys that made it to this point in the video are in the outro crew. Thank you guys so much. You guys that make it to the end really make this channel what it is, and I appreciate you for that. If you guys want to put an OC in your comment down below after you like the video, of course, and let me know what you guys think about the X4. Is there a big enough upgrade over the X3 that you're going to pick up this? Because from what I understand, they're still selling the X3, so if you don't need the resolution and all the other upgrades, you could just grab that. Anyways, you guys are fantastic. Y'all ride safe out there, and I look forward to seeing your motorcycle rides with your X4. I'm Chaseontwowheels. You guys ride safe. I'll see you in the next one. Later.
Hi guys, I'm Chase's Insta360 X4, and I had such a good time making this video. Even though now that I have lens guards, Chase doesn't give a shit about where he puts me on the bike, and it's a little terrifying. But everything is great. Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of the team. Everything is awesome when you're living the dream.